think I've given you enough time. These 4 questions shouldn't have taken you more than 2 minutes. But now it's over 10 minutes. Which is not enough. Okay, who has figured out the first one? Yeah, what do you have?
Is it?
No, not is it. Take what you have. 1 plus 2n. Okay, another one? Yes? 2n minus 1. Another one?
2n minus 1.
What?
2n minus
2n minus 1?
Mm.
Okay. So 2 people got this, 1 person got that. So maybe we say the highest vote is correct. Is that something that we can be marked? What?
I also got 2n minus 1.
Oh, more votes here. You're losing out, bro. No one is voting for you. Yes.
2n minus 1.
Even your friends, come on. Think about it.
my friend though?
They're not your friends anymore.
They were never.
Except
for whole year.
Alright, so 2n minus 1 is the right answer. If you have come across this before, remember in algebra we're talking about something like odd numbers. Numbers and algebra beginning of from 3. Anyway, please pay attention. I'm quite surprised that I gave you a reminder worksheet, notes, and some of you were looking for steps in the textbook when I've already written the steps here. You know, like these people here, I'm going to cast them, like, you know, expose them. These people here,
No.
these people here.
What are you talking about?
No, nothing. All right, everybody please listen. I'd like to explain something. Why do we call these linear sequences? Does anybody remember? What is linear?
It's a line.
A line. Okay. What are the things that come to your mind when you hear the word linear? Please sit right and focus on me and not on him. Otherwise, I'm going to have to separate both of you henceforth in this class. Yes. What comes to your mind when somebody says the word linear? A line on the graph. Okay. Yeah. What else? Ongoing.
Ongoing line, like never ending.
Okay. Still same line. Yes. Something else. So it could be a line. What else comes to your mind? Come on, come on.
Addition, subtraction.
What?
Gradient. Gradient.
Gradient. Even a curve has gradient at a point. So not in that line. Anyway, linear, of course, a straight line. What about the equation of the straight line? What can you say about that? There is something that makes it a linear equation. What is that? What? I'm not talking about a line now. There is something that makes an equation linear. It doesn't have to be equation of the line. What? Ax plus b. This is a linear expression. Right? Right? So what makes this linear? That hinders this from becoming linear. This is quadratic, I know. But why is this linear?
There's no square.
There it is. Just come on, somebody talk to me.
The power is 1.
The power is 1. The higher power is 1. Okay? There's 1 here, there's 0 here, because this is x to the power 0. Right? So we have 2, 1, 0. 2 is the highest. Here, 1 is the higher one. So if the power, the highest power, or the higher power in this case, is 1, then it is linear. When a sequence is a linear sequence, it will definitely have the end term of this form, an plus b. I need your attention now. If you have forgotten what you learned last year, this is not the time to write. An plus b, then this is linear. I'm saying I'm not going to warn you today. When I say I need your attention, I'm talking to all the 24 students. If you want to be different, I'll send you out of the class. An plus b, it's linear because the power is what? Power on n is 1. That's what makes it a linear sequence. Because the n term will be generated by something like this. Just like you got 2n minus 1. You can see power of n is 1. Does it make sense? So when a question is asking for linear, another way to see if a sequence is linear without the n term is to look at them. They are all a bunch of plus something or minus something. Look at this. Do you get it by adding?
Yeah.
The rule is addition, right?
Yeah.
Addition of what?
2.
2. What about this one?
2.
What about this one? Minus 4. So a linear sequence, we have the same addition or subtraction. Does it make sense? And the n term will definitely be in this form. This is something we learned in Form 1. Too bad we have forgotten. But it's okay. Okay? And I've written all the notes here, so you don't need to waste time. Just listen to my explanation. To find the n term, are you done? To find the n term, the easiest way is to find your difference. I'm sure this is something, I taught this class 3 years ago. I'm sure I mentioned something like this. Anyway, to find the n term, you do that, you find the difference. What happens to 1 to become 3? There was a plus 2. Anyway, you don't need to put the plus. Am I making sense? So here also is 2, 2. This 2 is the coefficient of n, which is your a. Are you with me? This 2, this difference is your a. So automatically you know that the n term will look like this. 2n plus b. The problem is you don't know what b is yet. Does it make sense? In this case also, what is the difference? Talk to me, everyone. 2, not 2n. What is the difference is my question. So again, this difference is 2. So the n term will be like 2n plus b. Right? Also here, the difference is what?
4.
No. Can you see that? So it means the n term has minus 4n like that. But that's not the end. We just have an idea what it looks like. Okay? So we need to figure out what our b is. B could be 0, it could be negative, it could be positive. Okay? So there's a way I wrote it in the paper. It doesn't have to be the way you would do it. I'll show you something now. So the next thing is, you know that this is not the complete sequence, right? Your original sequence is 1, 3, 5, 7. The sequence you are looking at has 2n. So generate sequence of 2n and see what is the gap. Look at it this way. 2n when n is 1, first term is what? Hello, listen. Assuming this is your final result. When I put n is 1, n is 2, n is 3, n is 4, I'm supposed to get the first, second, third, fourth, right? So when you put n is equal to 1, what is the first term?
2.
Second term?
4.
Third?
6.
Fourth?
8.
Now, these terms were generated by this.
Yes.
Are they the same as this?
No.
It means this is not the complete answer yet. Because if this was the complete answer, I'm supposed to generate the original sequence back. Do you agree? Now, what is left to catch up with this? What do I do to 1 to catch up with that? What do I do to this to catch up with this? This also? And this one? So it means my n term that I was looking for all along is what? 2n minus 1. So that minus 1 is the difference between the real sequence and the sequence generated by what you thought was the answer. Does it make sense? Let's do the same here. We know it's going to be 2n, right? Now, what is our real sequence? 5, 7, 9, 11. Now, sequence generated by what we assume to be the answer is what? 2, 2, 4, 6, 8. Do we have a common difference here? What is that? Plus 3. Can you see that? So it means our n term is actually what? 2n plus 3. Does it make sense? Look at this next one. We already know there will be a negative 4n, right? So we need to know plus what or minus what is left, right? So write the original sequence, always the original sequence first. 29, 25, 21, 17. Now, write the sequence generated by minus 4n. What is the first one? Everybody here? The second one? The next one?
Negative.
Isaac, stand on your feet. The next one? The next one? Alright. Stand on your feet. What is the difference? Between this and this, what is different?
33.
What about this one?
33.
And this one? So there will be a common number to be added, right?
Yeah.
So what does that tell us? Our n term is what?
Negative 4n plus 33.
Careful. Does it make sense? So this is how you find the n term of a linear sequence. We have done this from 1, from 2, I'm sure. I will have to give you more questions to practice this. Okay? The next question here is asking, is minus 12 in this sequence? Who can figure out yes or no and why? Yes, why?
No, because
Why is
you
that?
have to put negative 4n plus 33 is equal to negative 12, and then you solve the equation by moving the 33 to the other side and making it minus 33 to make it negative 40.
Just go straight to the last
Okay.
one.
So then once you add it to the other side, sorry.
Let's answer the question.
It's not in the sequence because it has a remainder. It's
not a whole number.
Because it's not divisible by 4. Because after negative 4, because
That's easier to say. She knows what to say, but she's just beating about the bush. Oh, when you solve this, when you take this to there, don't worry about how to solve it. What happens when I solve it?
it's not that
And-
So she is right. If minus 12 is in the sequence, then minus 12 must be generated by this n term. Remember, what does n stand for in this n term formula?
Number.
all the
No. The what?
all the
The other, use another word.
input,
The sequence is everything.
the input.
No, now you're thinking basics. That's when we use the input and output language. This is form 3. Come on, you're big boys and girls now. Yes, what does n stand for? Start with a P.
Key. Key. The next word, the next letter.
What did he say?
Position.
Yeah, that's right. But what did he say?
The next letter.
No. When I said start with a P, what did you say? I said the word start with a P. Then you said
The
something.
next word.
You said a word.
You said P.
You said P. Did you say P? Can you draw a line between a serious time and a joking time in my class? Does the word P come into this? Because I was wondering why Kelly and all those around her were laughing. Please be very careful. Thank you. So, like I said, the word is what again, Elsin? Position. Look at it. I asked you to find the 50th term. What do you do to work it out?
50 is added then.
So n is the position. Does it make sense? So if negative 12 is in this sequence, then negative 12 has to be generated by this. It means for a particular position, when we put in that position, we must get negative 12. And that's what she's trying to tell us that's not possible. The reason is, if indeed it is part of the term, then negative 4n plus 33 at a particular, for any particular n, must give us what? Negative 12. That's what she's saying. So maybe n is 1, we get negative 12. Maybe when n is 2, you must get negative 12. Maybe when n is 3, like that. Okay? So the idea is try to work out that n and tell us why it is possible or why it is not possible. That's what she's trying to explain. All right? So when we work that out, negative 4n is negative 12 minus 33. Am I right? Negative 4n, negative what? 45. So n is equal to negative 45 divided by 4. So what is that?
It's decimal.
It's a decimal. So it's not negative. So why is it not acceptable?
Because it's a decimal.
So why is a decimal in trouble?
Because it's not.
You just want to discriminate against decimal numbers, really?
No, because it's not part of the sequence.
Because what?
Because that's not a decimal.
Because it's not like
It's not integer.
It's not an integer. So why? Yeah, exactly. That's the opposite of what she said, basically. You want to go up? Yeah. So why is integer the only thing allowed?
Because of the
sequence
sequence
only
of
lets
Position.
We already said something. Can you focus on me, not Alice, please? Thank you. Why is decimal not allowed? What? Because a position cannot be a decimal. How can you say, oh, the girl in the 4.5th position in this row? Seriously, who is that? Just tell me she's short, basically. Maybe there's a short girl between the 4th person and the 5th person. You're like, oh, the girl, come on. You don't have to be that mean. So there is no way a position can be a decimal. That's the point. So once you get that, then you can say, no way, negative 12 is not a member of this sequence. But if we get something like minus 5, do we accept that? Because that is not a decimal. If we get something like minus 5, do we accept that?
Yes.
Because it's not a decimal, right?
Yes.
So you mean a negative
No.
number can be a position?
No. Wait, no. Wait. Wait.
I said if we get something like minus 5, do we accept it? You said, yeah. Is a position negative?
No.
So why did you say, yeah? Does it make sense now? So we cannot accept negative and we cannot accept decimal. So once you get any of this, then you only comment, oh, a position because it has y. Minus 12 is not in the sequence because the position is negative, which does not make sense. Okay? Any questions?
No.
So these are the areas of questions I might ask you for your practice paper. I will put quadratic now, or maybe I put just one or two more of this and see if you can interpret it better now. Shall we? Alright, let's take note of that.
Are we going to solve the 50th term?
Yeah, you can do that on your own.
Okay.
Now that we have the n term, do the 50th term for each of them. Okay, do that on your own. Work it out in the book, not in your head. Alright, good. So, the next question. On the other hand, does everybody understand what we have just said now?
Yeah.
I don't want us to waste time on the next question. I want to ask a question on the quadratic one and see if you remember, because we have little time. So tomorrow can be maybe for practice on linear and quadratic. All right? So the quadratic sequence. I'm sure this was done in Form 2. It's not in Form 1 curriculum. Did you remember this in Form 2? Oh. Okay, quadratic sequences. By the way, if you check the paper, another name for linear sequence is arithmetic sequence. I wrote all that in the paper already. Okay. Quadratic sequence, the format for the n term will look like what? an squared
plus bn plus c.
plus bn plus c. That's the quadratic expression form. Basically, that's why it's called a quadratic sequence. Yeah, bn. an squared plus bn plus c. Yes, quickly.
So what if there is no power?
What do you mean there's no power?
So if there's not even a power, if it's equal, what is it called?
There's not a power?
If it's just not a math problem,
I don't understand.
so like if there is no x, no y, nothing, it's just
There is no x, y, or nothing here too.
if there's only 1 plus 2, what is that called? There's no
There's no variable?
Yeah.
That's It's just a number, constant. 1 plus 2 is 3, that's a constant. We have nothing to do with sequence.
We always have to put that in first.
Yes. Yes, please. Otherwise, we don't know what you're talking about at that point. Okay, n term of quadratic. My question will be this. I need you to work out the n term of this quadratic. Or, okay, my first question will be, find the first 3 terms of the sequence with the n term. So I use n term, maybe 3n squared plus 5n minus 1. So work out the first 3 terms. Then the second question will be, of course, the class we end in about 2 minutes. Find the n term of the sequence. Pick some random sequence.
Can the position be 0?
Can it? No. Position start from 1. It's like saying, oh, we rank all the largest economy in the world. The country is in the 0 position. That doesn't make sense, does it? All right. So work out the first 3 terms of the first one, and for the second one, try to find the n term. So I would not give you any practice worksheets today. I will be giving you the practice worksheets tomorrow in class. So if you are able to do this, try this also from home. Don't worry, you don't have to solve them all. Just try your best. Use any method that comes to your mind. Tomorrow I will give you one of the easier methods to do it. Okay? So after you copy this, we can go. Write that down, or do I take a picture and post online? Of course, collaboration is allowed, so if you want to discuss it with someone, it's not a graded activity, so share ideas. So tomorrow morning, we'll look at it properly. If you are not able to, then I will give you, oh, you can also look at the paper I've given you. I think there's quadratic in it, so if that will guide you. All right, class dismissed. See you tomorrow morning.